What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's happening? Straight to the point. Top of the morning. Sugar 10 tones down. What's up with it, girl? I see you in here. Beautiful. Ted, what's up with it, man? I see y'all in here, man. I'm not gonna waste no time, man. Let's go ahead and get right to it. All right. Now, there have been reports. I want to give a shout out to the brother Tiki TV. And I also want to give a shout out to the brother 78 Sports. Definitely go sub to both of their channels, both of their platforms. They are the head honchos of both the LDBC community, both the Lion Den, both basketball and boxing communities. Salute to everybody that's affiliated with them. All right. And also want to give a shout out to all of my subs too as well for standing 10 toes down, both my day ones and as well as my new subs. Now, it's been reported, man, that Undisputed, the ratings are failing. It's kind of surprising, but then again, it's not. Okay. They brought Paul Pierce on there. What's up with it, Mike? They brought Paul Pierce on there uh, with the intention of him actually making the show surge in terms of the ratings, but it's actually done the complete opposite. And because of the recent comments and takes that Paul Pierce has made, particularly as it pertains to, of course, Kaylin Clark and Angel Reese, who I'm gonna dive in that whole little fiasco in just a second, or a few minutes rather. Uh, Now they're not only calling for Paul Pierce to be let go off of the show, but also people have just pretty much have washed their hands with Undisputed. Um, Here's my thing about Undisputed. We all know why, all right? Now, well, actually, there's two reasons why Undisputed really has a bad taste in their mouth, okay? The main reason is of course, the fallout that happened between him and Shannon. When I talk about him, I mean Skip. That fallout right there had a lot of people even hate Skip even more, okay, because of the fact of how Skip disrespected Shannon on national television, and the way that Shannon kept his cool was actually pretty good, and it worked out in his favor because really you're playing chess when you don't get that get back on a person, really. Okay, now Shannon could have hauled off over the table, choke Skip or body slammed him, did whatever, you know what I'm saying, but he kept his cool, and instead, guess what, now look at him. That's a life gem right there, in case you didn't catch that. Okay, don't get your get back. Don't get no revenge or something unless if it's really crucial. Then of course, then you got to make that decision. But if it's something like with words or something like that, in the end you're gonna win, and that's what Shannon is doing, of course, with Club Shay Shay. The second thing is with the Hamlin situation. Of course, Hamlin was the one that was he damn near lost his life on the field. Okay, but Skip, of course, was on social media. He went out there and he basically said that you know he was worried about the game. He wasn't worried about the player's life. Okay, and that further put a lot of even more bad taste in people's mouth because of the way that he was insensitive, and he refused to apologize about it. He refused to apologize about either one of those situations. Okay, and that's what we have to realize. Yeah, he played the long game. You scared Skip ran off three moderators. Yeah, he did. He did, man. And another thing is it's a combination of several different things. Okay, for one, they talk about the same topics over and over again. Me, if you listen to my channel, man, I'm not about repetitiveness. I don't like talking about the same thing. Or if you pay attention to some of the guys within the LWC, we're not going to talk about the same thing over and over. Undisputed, they talk about the same thing over and over and over again. If it's not talking about LeBron, then they're talking about the Cowboys. Now, they've tried to mix it up some, but of course, you have to bring somebody on there that knows about these topics, particularly when we're talking about the game of basketball. Well, they tried to do that with Paul Pierce. And while everybody was amped about it, everybody was liking Paul Pierce at first because he was he was really telling you the truth. For example, he stood 10 toes down for a minute talking about LeBron James, but then he was making some outlandish takes. Well, some people feel like they were outlandish. And I think what really put the icing on the cake was when he talked about how Caitlin Clark, giving props to her, beating a whole bunch of black girls and whatnot. Now, I'm gonna say something about that, right? Now, on the show Speak with Joy Taylor, Joy actually said kind of the same thing, but they didn't really talk about it. He was talking about the black-white issue in terms of Caitlin Clark going up there and beating, if she was to go somewhere, beat a whole bunch of black players or something like that, then give them props and all this other stuff, right? But the fact that Paul Pierce has said that, and he said that on a show that that's really, it's viewed by a lot of people. A lot of people know who Paul Pierce is, played in the NBA and everything like that. It was way, way, way blown up to a high magnitude. Now, I think, in my opinion, if he would have said it the other way around, then of course, like the brother Chiggy was saying, he probably would have been gone or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But to me, he's doing nothing different than some of these other guys do in terms of shock value. You got to think about it. Everybody's like, "Oh, wow, I can't believe you just said that," or something like that. I think that actually is a great thing. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to have a guy on there that goes against the grain. Skip was seen as that at one time, but people have grown tired of Skip. Okay, they've grown tired of Skip. They've grown tired of talking about the Cowboys. They've grown tired of talking about not necessarily the Lakers, but they've grown tired of just talking about LeBron all the time, talking about the same topics. We've been having this same GOAT discussion for I don't know how long, and people are growing tired of it. You have to have some freshness of the show. The show is stale. Skip is set in his ways. He wants to do things his way, stuff like that, and the show is not going to move forward like that. Yeah, like with JJ Redick and his plumber comment. But then, of course, JJ Redick, he tried to explain, which I thought was really dumb. Like, I would have respected JJ take more if he would have been like, okay, some of these guys, you were playing against guys that had odd jobs. Now, he wasn't lying about, with the whole plumbers and cab drivers and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? There were some guys that were actually doing jobs like that, but I think where guys like Bob Cousy and Bob Pettit had taken offense is that he's making it seem as if those guys, they just walked off of the job site onto an NBA floor and have no type of athleticism and all of that. You know what I'm saying? What's up with it, Alex? What's up with it, Cypress? Make sure y'all go sub to Cypress TV. But that's 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 pretty much why the ratings are failing. It has a combination to do with you got guys on there like Keyshawn Johnson, okay, which I don't have a problem with Keyshawn Johnson. As a matter of fact, I think Keyshawn Johnson is a contrarian, man, and he goes at Skip, and I like that. Now, I don't like the fact that he interrupts. You know, like a guy will sit there and give his take for, you know, let's say about 5 minutes or something like that. And then also, whenever they get done with their take, then okay, when Keyshawn talks, he'll talk for like his 10 minutes or whatever, and nobody won't say anything. But then when the other guy tries to give his spill on something, then guess what? Then he automatically interrupts. That's the only thing that annoys me about Keyshawn Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, you know, he's trying his best to understand the game of basketball. I don't knock anybody for trying. Michael Irvin, that's my guy. But Michael Irvin over the last couple of years, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with Michael Irvin. That guy right there, man, he went from, like, I actually liked him on First Take better than I did, you know, on Undisputed. I'm like, damn, what happened to Michael Irvin? But I think it's because they probably said, you know, Michael Irvin, you can't do this. They probably try to put some conditions on him, being that he was let go or wrongfully fired over there at ESPN. Oh, you talking about Rachel Nichols? But see, Rachel, the problem that I got with Rachel Nichols is she's so biased when it comes to, you know, especially like when it comes to LeBron James. You can't be biased, and that's the problem with Keyshawn Johnson. You can't continue to be biased. If you notice, Shannon Sharp actually stopped. He kind of held off on being so biased with LeBron James. There was sometimes I was shocked when Shannon Sharp would actually critique LeBron James, and you need that. I'm just using LeBron James as an example. You know what I'm saying? Because that he's pretty much the number one talked about on everything. No matter how you want to shape it around. Besides him, the Lakers and the Cowboys, they do it on Undisputed and they do it on First Take. The only difference is on First Take, you have people. See, on First Take, you got more people that have more objectivity. You have a lot more people that are objective instead of being subjective. It's a big difference. Like, I'm able to be objective when it comes to Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? I'm able to do that. I'll listen to your points and everything. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be like, okay, yeah, that's a great point. But you can't be so biased to the point where you're saying outlandish takes, and you know it makes no type of sense. And it actually sometimes it doesn't even have any bearing to what you're talking about. Make sure y'all hit that like when y'all come on in here. But Rachel Nichols, she's very biased. I think Rachel Nichols, in my opinion, she's better fit for like being a moderator or something like that. You know, a lot of people think beautiful and all this other stuff. Me, myself personally, I don't. I really want to get back to having a black moderator. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like I used to like Carrie Champion. You know what I'm saying? I used to, you know, her. You know what I'm saying? Even Joy Taylor, she did good. But Joy Taylor be cooking everybody on Speak. And some stuff I don't necessarily agree with, but the points that she gives is great. Yeah, Joy Taylor was good. And sometimes, man, Skip didn't want no smoke with Joy Taylor because Joy Taylor would brown sugar her. You know what I'm saying? I say brown sugar because brown sugar. I put my money up against anybody trying to get into a debate with with brown sugar. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they want to do that. Love you, brown sugar. But thing about it is like when you got somebody on there that can do that. And Tiffany too. Tiffany, she's solid too. I haven't seen Tiffany in a while, but right. And what was that other Caucasian girl's name? I forget her name, but she actually, I think she was pregnant at one time, and then she ended up getting into it with Skip. What's her name? Holly or something like that. I forget her name. What's that girl name? But they actually got into it on the show. They actually got into it. Her and Skip. But Undisputed is failing, man. It's likely that his contract is not going to be renewed. Uh, when we talk about Skip Bayless and the show, it's just it's not doing as good as what they expected. You know, and another reason. And listen, I know probably this is gonna mess some people up when I say this, but Richard Sherman, man, Richard Sherman. I actually like Richard Sherman. Now, of course, his basketball intellect could be a little better and everything, but I like Richard Sherman because he pretty much challenged everybody. But the problem with Richard Sherman is his his stuff that's going on off the air, man. He got a lot of issues going on behind the scenes and stuff. But that's that's pretty much why uh, Undisputed is not going in a high direction because when I look at Undisputed now, man, it's like I wait for Paul Pierce to get on there just to say some crazy stuff or whatever, and that's what we actually wanted. But now it's like, dang, Paul Pierce, what is you trying to do? Are you trying to save your job or something like that? What is it? He said Polo versus Skip. Man, Skip is such a Michael Jordan nut hugger. Pause that he wouldn't he wouldn't even be able to he wouldn't even be able to uphold any type of weight in terms of bringing any type of points. I mean, I'm not going to take a guy seriously, especially when it comes to going at somebody like Skip, when he said that the Orlando Magic, are not a team to be worried about. That just goes to show you that he doesn't even pay attention to the game. He's got a one-track mind. He probably still thinks that the Magic are like sitting in 11th place or something like that, or some silly stuff. Well, we know that the Magic actually can have a potential to actually knock off one of these teams this year. And when he said that, that lets me know that he didn't really pay attention. And plus, there's been a lot of other stuff that he said, um, in regards to a lot of players and stuff that lets you know that he really doesn't pay attention. He overly pays attention to um, like a guy like Michael Jordan. And listen, I'm gonna tell you something about Skip too, right? Um, you know, uh, you said Skip is old, but that's not an excuse. Mike Wilbon is older. Uh, Stephen A. Smith is older. That's really not that's age doesn't have anything to do with it. It's about being set in your ways. Can you diversify? Like for instance, if I was to have, let's say me and Cypress want to sit here and he's talking about um, straight versus Cypress, right? and we're talking about basketball. Okay, we're just talking about the game of basketball. Okay, but the only thing that you have to rely on is, you know, your Spurs team. You can't tell me about any other team. You can't tell me about what who's on this roster. You can't tell me about the coach of this team. You can't tell me if this guy's out on an injury or anything like that. But the only thing you go back to is talking about the Spurs. I'm just using an example, you know, but I'm giving you key examples as to why I think that the OKC Thunder have a potential to knock off a team like a Denver Nuggets or like a Minnesota or whatever. But the only thing you keep telling me is, oh yeah, well, if you say something like, oh yeah, all the Spurs got is Wembanyama, that's the reason why we're gonna win. That lets me know that you don't really even pay attention to the game like that. I'm just saying if I'm not saying that Cypress does that, but I'm just saying if he did that. But you have a lot of people like a Skip Bayless that does that. You know what I'm saying? You and everybody, they get in their feelings too when you try to challenge them on something like, okay, like for instance with the whole, you know, Giannis don't have a bag and Giannis don't have no moves or anything like that. Okay, yeah, he might not have as big a bag or of a Hakeem Olajuwon or something like that, but it certainly got him a ring. And then on top of that, if he didn't have that, if Dame was such a great player and got a bag and all this other stuff, then how come he joined forces with Giannis? But that's just an example. Skip doesn't really. The only thing that he brings up is Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan. You got to say more than that. There's other greater play. There's other great players other than Michael Jordan. Can you tell me anything about Will Chamberlain? No, you can't. Only thing you could tell me about is that he scored 100 points. How many of the other records that can you tell me that nobody will ever be able to destroy? Let's keep going. Can you tell me anything about the 2004 Pistons team? No, you can't. The only thing that you're going to sit up there and say, oh yeah, well, you know, they had a group of guys that were very good on defense and they were coached by Larry Brown, just the same old watered down talking point. But Colin Cowherd, even though I don't agree with a lot of his stuff though, he would destroy Skip. And I don't agree with a lot of stuff that Colin Cowherd says, but I guarantee you he'll destroy Skip. But see, age doesn't have anything to do with it. Um, Man, I got, well, I actually have an aunt. She's like in her 70s, and I got an uncle that's like, I think he's in like his 60s or whatever. Man, they'll destroy Skip, man. You know, and like I said, I got family members that if you bring Michael Jordan to the conversation, you better really understand what you're saying because they're going to challenge you on everything. You can't just say, "Oh yeah, well he was 6-0 there in final." You know, oh man, yeah, man, Michael Jordan, man, you know he never lost. You can't say nothing like that. That's everybody gonna be like, okay, well let's break that down then, and then you got to really stand on that stuff. That's what I'm saying. You got to be able to go further. You know, it's just like yesterday when we were talking about the whole, what was it, you know, the fruit roll-ups and all that other stuff with LeBron James. But you have yet to see LeBron James wear a skirt, okay? You have yet to see LeBron James wear a merce, okay? I haven't seen him wear any, no tight capri leggings, but you see D Wade wearing that stuff. You know, so you got to be able to put context, behind what you're saying. Skip Bayless though, he's set in his ways. He'll never be able to, he's just that lonely guy that, you know, go, just move on now. Shannon has already proved Shannon is a phenomenon. Okay. And that's just like with the whole thing that's going on where, they're calling him, zesty and all of this other stuff, right? But guess what? Every time you call him zesty, every time that gets a click, a like or something like that, or every time that gets played, you do realize that Shannon Sharp, it's just making him grow in popularity. Man, that whole Shannon Sharp challenge, the wine challenge and stuff like that, hey, that took off. It went viral, man. But I mean, with the makeup and all that other stuff, that went viral. But guess what? It hasn't stopped him. As a matter of fact, he had Glorilla on there. You know what I'm saying? Which I thought was a pretty dope interview. Now it didn't break the internet or nothing, but I'm glad Glorilla was on there. No, well, I was just making a point. Roger. I mean, it's not. Don't don't let I'm just making a point. But I'm just saying though, we have yet to see. I was just making an example of really breaking stuff down, and Skip doesn't really break. He wouldn't be able to break it down against somebody that really knows the game like that. But I mean, over here, man, if you bring up something and you say, okay, like I said, what we were talking about yesterday. If you're gonna bring up the fact that you think that this person is this way, tell me why. Tell me why, and then don't get mad if don't be able to control yourself. You know what I'm saying? Don't get mad when we're asking you what logic does that possess for that person to be a particular way. Because for a while, guess what? I thought Janelle Monae was was straighter than a pinpoint. You know what I'm saying? I used to be in love with Janelle Monae. Then next thing you know, guess what? Oh, she goes the other way. I'm like, oh no, oh no. You know what I'm saying? But when she came out, you know what I'm saying? I was like, wow. I was shocked and surprised. No, not really, man. I'm completely fine, man. But like I said, if it gets you riled up, man, it's fine. But like I said, if you can't bring any facts to the table, that's not that does he okay. Like I said, he wear a skirt? Go ahead and answer that question. If you can Google me, matter of fact, go ahead and Google me. LeBron James wearing a skirt, wearing anything feminine, and then I could go ahead and I'll give you like several different NBA players, and then we could go ahead and we could weigh out the pros and cons. But other than that, I mean, there's really nothing that you could say. What, him being on social media with P Diddy? There's lots of other people that have went to P Diddy parties. What's up with it? Be more legend. I see you in the building. Yeah, but like I said, man, I won't put that jacket on somebody. And if he does, hey, guess what? He's a billionaire. So I mean, we should be just talking about billionaire vibes, right? But anyways, let me talk about the Bucks. You know what I'm saying? That's easy work right there. I'm not. I'm fine. I'm fine. He said, in my opinion, they knew that Diddy not. Well, well, see, this is what I'm gonna say about that, right? A lot of a lot of people, like with the whole Cassie situation, all they want is money, man. Like Diddy is, whether we like it or not, and they're gonna try to make money off of his name and stuff. You know, like gonna try to do that. So with the whole like LeBron James situation, of course, that's a money maker right there. When they know about what goes on at the parties and stuff like that. I mean, people are always at these parties all the time and stuff. And Diddy's not the only one that throws parties like that. You know, but I'm certainly not gonna, like, we gotta really understand. Let's understand what we gotta define what we have to really put into context what like going to a party and actually partaking is. What the difference is. The guy could have probably just been there, but that doesn't necessarily mean that guy really partook in anything that they were doing. He probably could have just been having a drink. He probably, okay. LeBron James, he done had, the Hot Boys and various rappers there, but you think LeBron James is gonna be in the hood in the trap doing the same stuff that that some of those other guys are doing? Right. But and hey, I mean, look, but it's fact. But you still can't give me a reason why you think LeBron is fruity. Besides the fact that you hate the man, that's the only reason. And like when we talk about emotions and all this other stuff, everybody was getting emotional yesterday when I said, Bronny James, he can still make it to the league with the little work and everything. And because I told you no, we have to go. You have to go back to the drawing board and get a little better and with work. And I brought facts to the table, and you couldn't. So in the same situation, you have to give me facts. Russell Westbrook, he's married, right? He's married, but he wore a skirt. He wore a skirt. So why aren't we talking about Russell Westbrook? It's just a question. But that's what I'm saying. So everybody's saying, this guy, fruity and stuff like that. But wouldn't you put that wouldn't you put that jacket more on some of these other guys that are wearing the stuff that they wear and stuff like that? LeBron really, to me, he doesn't carry himself that way. That'd be like me saying that about like Magic Johnson. And when Magic Johnson, he gave Michael Jordan a hug. Or how come we're not talking about Isaiah Thomas and Magic Johnson when they kissed, right? I mean, wouldn't that be fruity vibes? I'm not kissing no man on their cheek. I'm not letting no dude kiss me. But those guys actually kissed. So why? But have you seen LeBron kiss anybody? Come on, we got to bring facts. Come on. And it's like I said, it's not about feelings. I'm asking you questions. No, I was talking about, I was, no, but I was bringing up a point. I'm asking, but I'm asking a question though. Yeah, or Barkley kissing a rep. We're just asking a question. It's okay. It's all right. We're just asking a question though. I mean, all you have to do is just give me the answer because I'm telling you, I named like at least 4 to 5 different situations, but you're running back to he's fruity, he's fruity, he's fruity. When you haven't seen him kiss anybody, when you haven't seen him wear any skirts, the most you've seen LeBron do is probably do little silly dances or him dap somebody up, and give them a hug, or him being online saying, ain't no party like a Diddy party. But other than that, I've always heard about LeBron messing around with white girls or something like that. Is that fruity vibes? I mean, because the last time I checked, those were women that was. He was surrounded by Jeannie Buss and Miss Rambus. Those are women. That's that's not fruity vibes, is it? But anyway, that. Oh my god, man! But right, exactly. So, but we have to bring up somebody that wore a skirt. I, like I said, find me a picture of any outfit that remotely gives any type of vibe that LeBron is rainbow. I mean, we have to. I mean, Michael Jordan. You can't. I haven't seen Michael Jordan kiss anybody or anything like that. But Magic Johnson and Isaiah Thomas, I have to question that. And Isaiah Thomas is one of my favorite players. But I've seen it. I had to question that. The most I've seen, like where Michael Jordan probably gave off any type of vibe like that, was when they were clowning each other when they were taking pictures and stuff for the USA Olympic, and Magic Johnson had gave him a hug and stuff like that. Saying that he was playing around and stuff. But I'm just talking about a guy like Michael Jordan because we're bringing up masculinity. But um, like I said, I don't have to like LeBron particularly as a basketball player, but I'm certainly not gonna just make that assumption or anything. Now I did kind of question Russell Westbrook. I was just like, man, of course D Wade. I started questioning him a long time ago, but like when we talk about LeBron James, never saw that vibe from him, and I never saw that vibe from like Carmelo Anthony. Never saw that vibe from like KD, any of those guys, and they have the nerve enough to call KD soft and all this other stuff. Well, hey, um, if that's the way you feel, but hey, at the end of the day, that man that man's got a son. He got kids. He got a wife, and on top of that, he's successful. And we're actually talking about him. So like I said, but when it comes to, I'm going to talk about the Bucks real quick. Uh, the Bucks lost again, Okay, um, they lost again. They they're not they're not a threat in the East anymore. And even if Dame Lillard comes back, they're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna do that good in the playoffs. And the reason is because I think that if anybody has a chance of beating them, we do. The Sixers do. Yeah, I'm talking about. Okay, Doc Rivers coach. Yeah, I mean his coaching is I mean it's always been because listen, they're 18 and 21 on the road right now. And that's to me that's very because you on the play in the playoffs you have to win on the road. I don't care what team is weaker than you. You have to win on the road. You're not gonna be successful in the playoffs unless you're a good road team, and they're not a good road team. They're 18 and 21. Like Doc Rivers, like, and plus they don't have Dame, but they're losing. They're losing to teams like Washington. They lost to Memphis last night. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't know if maybe he's getting his team rest or whatever, but I really don't see the Bucks as a threat anymore. At one time, I was like, okay, they were starting to turn the corner right after the All Star break, but now I really don't. I don't see them. Wow, I'm talking about the Bucks, Brown Sugar. I'm not even talking about that no more. I stopped talking about that a long time ago. If you feel the way you feel, man, that's what, I don't feel that way though. But what? Let me hear y'all. You said Doc will figure it out. Um, I mean, we'll see. I mean, he certainly hasn't figured out in the playoffs the last couple of seasons. Even though, like with the Clippers team, there were some situations that were out of his control. With the Sixers team, it still kind of came down to his coaching and stuff. But you also got to look at the fact you had a James Harden that wasn't really locked in. You had a beat up Joel Embiid. You're playing with a Maxi who's inexperienced. Then the year before, year prior, you had a Ben Simmons. You couldn't really rely on him. So I really don't think that the Bucks are really going to be a threat. And in order for them to take that leap over, they're gonna have to get better on the road. But besides that, they're losing the teams. They're losing the teams, man, where these should be winnable games. But they got the. This is another thing. I think the Bucks have the third. They had like the toughest schedule. I think it was the second or third toughest schedule in the league. You said Pacers are a bigger threat. Stop saying I don't like him. Love his craft. Love his game. I Okay, yeah, but I said that was a while. I mean, if you, okay, we understand. I mean, look, you feel the way you feel, man. I'm not. Oh my god. Oh man. The Pacers are a bigger threat to everybody because of the style that they play. I know Halliburton has a funny looking shot. Even the referee was making fun of his shot and everything, but they're still a dangerous team. Now Halliburton has, I think he's shotting better. He shot better the last couple games or whatever, but he was shooting a very low percentage at one point. But the style that they played, even Doc Rivers, they came out on record, and he basically was saying that the Pacers are going to give them problems. They're going to struggle with teams like the Pacers and like the Kings and stuff because of the up tempo style that they play, and the Bucks really can't keep up with that. The Bucks are older. They're another older team. They're another older team. But you have to mirror the way that the Pacers play, the Magic play. A lot of people don't talk about how the up tempo style that the Magic play. But like I said, nobody pays attention to anybody else um, besides maybe the Lakers or some of these other teams or whatever. Which really you shouldn't be paying attention to those teams. You said, yeah, the Magic play a very upbeat, fast tempo style, man. It mirrors D'Antoni, and the difference is that the Magic actually play defense. They actually play defense. Yeah, yeah, Ted, you love you some Joe Ingles. I like Joe Ingles too, man. And he might not play like how everybody wants him to play and everything. He doesn't play like that. He doesn't play like the modern NBA. He got that old school game, but he's still dangerous. And anytime you got international guys on your team, you're always gonna be a threat because those guys they play serious, man. They're not with all the dramaticism and all that other stuff, man. These guys just want to win a trophy. Yeah, he is. And the fact that he's left-handed, it makes him dangerous too. Oh my God, these guys are. Oh shit, man. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, but the Bucks are not a threat anymore. We'll see if they'll turn it around in the playoffs, but it's highly unlikely that they're going to do that. Matter of fact, I don't even think that well, of course, the Celtics aren't a threat either. I mean, they could be a threat because they got home court advantage though throughout the whole playoff. They've clinched home court advantage. Nah, they're not. They're not, especially not on the road. They're not, and you also got to think about this too. Dame has consistently been in the playoffs and stuff, but he's also consistently failed. The only people that have succeeded on that squad are Brook Lopez, um, of course, Chris Middleton, Giannis, and a couple of other guys on that roster. Other than that, Dame really hasn't had any. He hasn't had any playoff success. And I mean Doc Rivers, of course, because Doc Rivers has been uh, he's been to the chip. He actually won the chip, but I don't see them as a threat, man. And you're talking to a Giannis fan. I want y'all to know that you're talking to a Giannis fan, but they're not the same team like they were when they had Drew Holiday. It's like when Drew Holiday left, you say you're a Giannis fanboy. Giannis is to be appreciated, man. The the fact that they don't give this guy his credit and his just due, and they still talk about Giannis as if he he was he still played the same way that he did when he was a second year in the league or third year in the league. In, in, in my Mike Tyson voice, it's ludicrous. No, he doesn't. I mean, listen, Alex English had a bag, but he never won a championship. Okay, Karl Malone, great player, never won a championship. You know what I'm saying? Never could get over the hump. But guess what? Giannis can actually say that. AI, as much as I love AI, he had a bag. He had a bag for days. He could get through there and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't get him nowhere. Dame Lillard. I go back to Dame Lillard. I'm gonna always make that point. He's got a bag. Dame Lillard has moves. I mean, he's got moves. He don't got he don't got no wins. What do I think about them signing Isaiah? I like it, but I don't like the fact that they're giving him garbage time. We talked about that the other day, Beat More. I was saying that I said, the only time they let Isaiah Thomas play is when it's garbage time. He's letting them go out there with like Bo and all that with like 8 minutes left to go in the game. Like I'm like, well, what did you sign him for? And I know he's feeling that way, but he's starting to climb himself back up there. But I wanted the Celtics to get him just so that he could at least have a chance of getting a ring again. You said having a great bag and a high IQ get brothers involved when you're on fire is a great skill. Yeah, it is. It is. And you don't have to have the best bag and the best moves in the world and all that other stuff in order to show that you have IQ. That like just because you make the most moves on the court and all that other stuff, that doesn't mean that your IQ is the best. What that means is that you're a really talented player, but you don't know how to win. You don't know how to rely on your team. But the Suns, uh, I don't see the Suns going anywhere either, man. And I actually appreciate the Suns culture, but man, after that team, when that after Monty left and DeAndre Ayton and Chris CP3 and everybody else, how they broke that team up, man. And we all know it was a lot of people point the finger in Monty Williams' direction, but really to me, I think it was a combination of DeAndre Ayton. Really, it was DeAndre Ayton, man, and I'm pretty sure my guy Hitman X can attest to that. Like Klay Thompson doesn't have a bag; he runs off the screen. Yeah, exactly. And Klay Thompson is my favorite player on the Warriors. Look, man, like Klay Thompson, he doesn't. He's not gonna sit there and dribble with you all day. He's just gonna make one move and then that's it. Other than that, he's just running off screens. And on top of that, what his biggest skill, I think he's a better defender than nah, he's a better shooter, but I think his defense really just gets really slept on. Clay is locking up. I'm talking about Clay before the injury. He was locking up. He was locking up the other opposing teams. Uh, 9 times out of 10, their biggest threat. You said Gilbert Arenas made a good point on modern day NBA bass. Said they work too hard. I mean, they do. I mean, look, you spend more energy dribbling the ball and doing all this other stuff when you could have had a shot. Like that's why they have a drill called or a game called two dribble, where you just make two dribbles and that's it. You got two dribbles to make your move, and then that's it. And it teaches you to hurry up and because I mean, do we got to forget that there's a shot clock? So the thing about it is when you got a guy like Luca is a great player, man. I don't want people to get it twisted, but he's starting to figure out now that okay, I can do I can do a little bit less, but still accomplish more. You know what I'm saying? He's actually he's starting to mature a little bit right before our eyes a little bit. Luca is. But before, what was Luca doing? He was dribbling, 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 wasting all that energy. By the time he gets to the like the third quarter, fourth quarter, he's gassed. And I'm gonna tell you something else that I've noticed about Luca. Now, um, man, shout out to who is Hendo. Okay, shout out to him, man. I looked at if you listening, who is Hendo, man? I mess with your channel, bro. He pointed out something very key, man. Hendo pointed out something key. He pointed out Luca his impact on defense and stuff. Now he still got a lot of way. He got a long ways to go in terms of being an elite defender, but he's getting better than what he was. You said the game slowing down fit him. I mean, he listen. If Luca came off the ball much less, which he's starting to figure out just a little bit, because now you have another ball handler in Kyrie that could take some pressure off of him. if he could figure that out, and then he could save so much energy in the fourth quarter because he's already he's already a great scorer. So if you have all of that energy left in the fourth quarter, and he's clutch. Luka is clutch. He's starting to become one of those players like, oh snap, don't let Luka touch the ball. He's starting to become one of those players. Yeah, listen, offensively, everybody talks about a bag and all this other stuff. It might not be the fastest. It might not be, the most prettiest and stuff. But Luka actually does have a bag. But maybe it's not, to your liking. But he has a package offensively. But the thing about it is we're not worried about offense. We know that you can score. We know that you're going to get buckets. We know that you can shoot. We know that. But can you impact the game in other ways? Can you not be gassed in the third and fourth quarter when it's crunch time, when it's the crunch part of the season? Best two-man guard in the league is Luka and Kyrie. Ooh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that, man. Um, I mean, right now, well, well, there is an argument there, but right now, if we're going by metrics, yeah. At one point though, De'Aaron Fox, and Malik Monk, even though Malik Monk came off the bench, they had an argument there with the Sacramento Kings, but their record speaks for itself. So I will have to give you that. Be more. I will have to give you that. We can't say Golden State anymore, of course, or the Lakers or any of that SGA. But you also got to look at let's see, but Minnesota got Anthony Edwards by himself. Um, OKC got SGA. Uh, you could also throw Orlando in there. Let's see. Listen, man, I would say Maxi, but Maxi he's got several different guys that he's running with though. They're not a tandem that's always out there and stuff. So yeah, I think I might have to go ahead and give you that though. Be more. I think I might have to give you that. But the question is are they going to be able to? Are they going to be able to do all of that stuff in the playoffs though? Because yeah, they can be the best duo and they can do all that stuff, but they still got to perform in the playoffs. That's what we want to see. Like people think that Kawhi, and I'm just talking about duos period, not necessarily guard or whatever. But people thought that when they think of Kawhi and then when they think of Paul George, but then when they get to the playoffs, then guess what? Yeah, he definitely is. Kyrie, man, is magnificent, man. Uh, some people felt like he should be on the top 75. I would like to see Kyrie just, and I know he's in Dallas and everything, but I would like to see Kyrie lead a team on his own, as him just being the main guy though. That's that's always been the knock on Kyrie though. Is because the argument is always gonna be, okay, well, he wouldn't have never got the ring without LeBron James, but at the same time, people are gonna be like, well, LeBron wouldn't have never got that ring without Kyrie because Kyrie hit the shot. But then you go back and you say, well, it was the block. It goes back and forth. But you can't definitively say, oh yeah, Kyrie led a squad on his own. You can't say that, and I want to see that, because he was, even though he was young when he was in Cleveland and everything, he was struggling before LeBron had came. They can't stay healthy though. That's why I don't really put them up there. Uh, Booker is the only one that's been successful out of them two. Bradley Beal has never been successful. You got to think about it though. Be more. They've never been successful at all. Only one that's been successful is Booker. But see, with Luka, he's been to the WCF. He's been to the Western Conference Finals, and he's been successful at what he's doing. And Kyrie, he got a chip, and Kyrie has been, to finals. You know what I'm saying? Bradley Beal. I don't think Bradley Beal has ever. I don't think Bradley Beal has ever been out of the second round. I don't even think he's been out of the first round. Has Bradley Beal ever been out of the first round? and look, Bradley Beal, man. I mean, has Bradley? No, just let me know though, B more. Has he ever been? Yeah, he ain't never been out the first round. Like, damn. Like, and why they calling them a big three? Like, Hitman is my guy, but he know damn well they not no big three. You should just be saying the best duo. I don't think Hitman has said that, but I'm just saying, I'm talking about his squad because he love the Suns. And Hitman's my guy. But I don't see them as no big three. Because Bradley Beal, he's always hurt. He ain't never been out the first round. You talking about guys that have been to the final, and you talk about a guy that got 2 chips in his name in KD. And I know everybody gonna say, "Oh yeah, man, if it was, he jumped on a juggernaut and all that other stuff." Look, he got 2 chips. All right, let's just get it out the way. We can say the same thing about LeBron in the bubble ring. All right, look, he got the chip. Yeah, it is. He got good footwork, and he got handle. I don't like. I kind of like Bill. Man, he need to hurry up and mature. Shoot, man, he done been in the league how long? Like, but basketball wise, look, he's old. He's not old in age. He's old body wise because of all of his injuries. Like you said, like Ted said, good point. He's a pinata. Every time you touch him, something go on, man. You got to be tough as nails, man. And I used to like Bradley Beal, especially coming out of Florida, man. I thought he was gonna be, that guy. But Bradley Beal remind me of C.J. McCullough. But hey, y'all, I appreciate y'all pulling up. Hey, I'm gonna tap in with y'all later though. Make sure y'all hit the like button, sub to the channel too. Also hit them notifications. Please share this video. Share the video. Until then, man, it's straight to the point. Sports and entertainment, man. I'll get at y'all later.